corner, it's going to cover this whole area of the home. Hi, miss, how are you?
Hi.
You'd have one camera?
Yes, unless you feel like there would be a
Well,
second
this
spot.
is like where we're at.
I can put it in that corner pointing this way, or you can put it in this corner pointing this way, but it's still going to cover the main area to act as a trap zone. The one other thing I would want to do.
What's the width of the camera angle?
Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah,
45?
it's the width would be 60 feet and it'll go up to 180 feet long.
No, what I mean is.
Well, I think it's 45.
Radius, yeah, 45
45
degree angle.
degrees?
Yeah, so if
We try to put them in a corner.
yeah, so the way I would do it is it would be like something like
Well,
that.
then why wouldn't you put it here? And like forward?
We can put it there too. It's really whatever your preference would be. I'm in.
Security system.
He's buying a hot tub from me.
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
No, they're talking about possibly putting in a free system if we advertise their company.
We did about 7 of the other neighbors, but what I was explaining to your husband was we're having a few guys hang on to these brochures with all the pricing, and before all the companies come out here to start selling it, we would want you to keep this shield up in the yard, and we're paying for like the cameras and the fire protection for the cats, and you would have like a remote for the system. But basically I went through most of the questions with your husband. Do you feel like you would use the system too? Like, would you guys all use it as a family?
Oh, I'm sure we would.
Cool. Very basic how we would do this. Is this, where was that window we saw? That was a concern. Is this in this room? Okay, and then this is the third door that comes in and out of the home.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were you guys, I think we should do glass break in this home. Or we could do 2 cameras. So you could either do a glass break detector where if somebody smashes the window, it's going to detect right when the window is smashed. Or what I think might be better for you is to do 2 cameras. We do one here and we do one here. Because there's no upstairs to the home, right?
No.
Okay, so say I do one here, and then I could do a second one pointing this way. Or you could do one motion with a camera because it is covering the heart of the home right here. And then I could add a glass break detector where if somebody wanted to try to smash one of these side windows, which if a break-in happens...
What is a glass break detector?
It's like an ear.
Audible?
Audible ear that if it hears, like it's barometric pressure based where if somebody smashed a window, it would be like picture an ear for security. So just constant ear that's just like this. And if it detects the glass break,
How many of these detectors would there be?
one would cover the whole entire home. These are $200 detectors. So basically,
So he'd be able to hear that and this?
100%. Are these single, double, or triple pane windows?
Well, I think we just single.
Single?
Really
So a single pane window
doubles.
is easy to break.
These are
Even if
doubles,
they were
these ones
to
are.
duct tape
not.
it-
This is double.
Okay, even if they were to duct tape the window before breaking it, it would still pick that up. So, I would...
Now again, this is all on when the system is armed, right?
Correct.
So we can shut this all off when
Yeah,
we're home.
during the day you're not going to set it. There's 2 times you're going to set it. Set it for stay mode when you're sleeping at night, and then set it for arm everything when the house is completely empty.
Stay mode listens for the glass.
Stay mode
but
listens for the glass.
It doesn't do the motion sensor.
No, and it covers the doors.
The magnetic
Yep.
thingies.
And then away mode arms the actual motion with the camera. Now, if you were gone from the home and you wanted to check what's going on in the home from the camera, you could do a peek-in just to check what's going on at the house. It's very basic how I do these, though. I'd use you as basically a GE model home, just like I did with all the other neighbors.
So that means what, people would come and look at it?
No one's going to ask you to look at the system. This is what we want. We want credibility, we want visibility, and we want word of mouth. The credibility is with using you as a reference. The visibility is by keeping the shield in the yard, and then the word of mouth is we're confident that
If people ask,
yeah,
if they ask about the sign, I'll just say, here's the sign.
Oh yeah, just say we're part of the special marketing program. This is what I like about it. I like the fact that if somebody were to break in or one of your friends asks you or something, you can say, hey, look at how cool this is. Alarms were never cool. They were kind of like a system where you're only going to set like when you go on a vacation. That's why a lot of people call them vacation systems. So when you really compare the system we put into the home compared to one of these, I would say 80% of the people that have systems that look like this. And then when they see systems like this, that's something that they want to do. It's like people always...
So where would that go? Would that go inside the front door? Where we can shut it off?
Which door do you walk in and out of the most?
The front.
Okay, so I would put it near there or in a central location, and then you guys would each have the remotes. So I could put
So
it really.
when we're away and the thing is armed,
Yes.
if we use the key and open the door and we
It'll
split
go.
the sensor.
It'll go beep. It picture
And then
45.
then you walk over to the panel and do this
Yes,
thing.
and you
and
have
shut it
45
off.
seconds, and it'll actually go beep, beep, and it'll eventually get time to go beep, 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 just to show you have that much time to disarm it.
Or you can disarm it from outdoors.
Yeah, or indoors, you can just disarm the system. Very easy to use.
Or if anybody has a smartphone.
You know, I've heard that cars that have these remote locks are getting defeated now. You know, so I'm wondering how good this remote system is.
These remotes are all GE. They're encrypted, so it's like same way if I wanted to get into your Wi-Fi, I'm going to need the password. You know, like how neighbors try to pick up the Wi-Fi. These are encrypted, so it actually has like a serial code inside of it. No one's going to get through these key fobs. If you lost your key fob, you just let us know, we deactivate it from internally. So, very basic how I do it. I show you how it works, and you tell me if it feels if it's fair. Do you have any issue with me using you as a reference?
That would, okay, now.
Name
explain
drop.
that here.
Hank
So-
has a system, he likes this, is what he benefits. You're a reference for our system.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Non-disclosure, just not going over to the neighbors and saying that we paid for it. And then lastly is to keep the shield in the yard for the visibility for 4 years.
Yeah.
As long as you're comfortable with those three things, the way we compensate you is we pay for the touchscreen panel, the cell unit, all three of the doors, the motion with the camera, both remotes, the maintenance, the fire protection, the installation, and then we would also do the glass break detector.
So this would be, once it's installed, it's in there forever? There's no monthly maintenance or anything like that?
Well, typically, we're paying the maintenance for you first off. Now, where they get you, these systems are all cellular, it's just like a cell phone. Do you know what cell phone provider you have?
It's Verizon.
Verizon. So whenever you have a cell phone, you need minutes or data for the cell phone. This system's going to dial out on a cell phone plan, and it needs its own entity. Whenever these systems dial out, that's typically where they get you, is you do need a cell phone, a part of your alarm. Now, to have that is $89 every month. We pay it for you, not because we're a charity, but because we have a direct negotiation through the cell phone companies that they're allowing us to use their cell phone towers for this. We're paying the whole entire monthly cell phone fee for you.
For how long?
For life, not in a year, not in 5 years, we're paying it. You'll never be responsible for paying the cell phone plan. The one thing you would be responsible for, and obviously if the alarm goes off, it's not going to be me showing up, it's the actual police, and we're going to come through the speaker to dispatch everything. We negotiated that for $13 a week through the city for the fire and the police response. That's the only thing you're responsible for, is keeping it connected, that if the alarm goes off, we're going to be the ones coming through the speaker to dispatch everything. And obviously if everything isn't okay, then you'd want the police to come. But the catch is to keep the sign out. You have to keep it out for 4 years. It's not like you can take it out in a year. We want you to keep it out for 4 years. So I do have to qualify.
So it's $13 a week for life? As long as we
Well,
have the system.
yeah, if you break it down, it's basically 52 to have the system connected. If 13 times 4 is 52 a month. That's what you're responsible for, is the connection to the police and fire department. That's the only thing you're responsible for. Where we make our money off the equipment, the installation, the cell phone plan, since we're using you as a model home, we pay all those costs. You'll never stop paying it.
In perpetuity, forever. Right?
Forever. There is no more, there is no less. You're responsible for the connection, for the police and fire department. We pay for the equipment. I write you a receipt for $0.
Well, this is the police and fire, you're saying?
Yes. That's the only thing you're responsible for, is if the alarm goes off, we're going to be dispatching everything through a speaker. And it's like an OnStar service that if the alarm goes off, that your home is protected when you're here, but also when you're gone. And you'll never regret having a system. The only thing people regret is waiting to get a system after, and then their home gets broken.
Is this typical of every system? There's a access fee?
Of course, yeah. We have to. You'd obviously want the system to work. If the alarm goes off, they're going to come through the speaker. Every system.
So
has
how
a
do these
connection.
systems work before?
They ran through a phone line, so they ran through an analog phone line, and people would pay for phone monitoring. So if the alarm goes off, instead of coming through a speaker and talking to you right through the keypad, the alarm goes off, it sounds in the home, and then the phone starts ringing, and then you pick up the phone, and it's the company on the line saying, "Hey, is everything okay?" But the problem with that is so many people would miss that phone call, because if your alarm's going off and you're in your room or something, you're not rushing to your telephone, you're rushing over to the keypad to go type in the numbers. You type in the numbers, they call you on the phone in the other room, you go rush to the phone, you miss the phone call, police are already on their way, police come, you're like, no, everything's fine. So that's why we do everything through a speaker now. So, very basic. It's like if you're going to use the system, like you'll never regret having it. We put the system in, try it out. If you had any problems with it, the only thing we would ask is to have the equipment back. But, you know, I have to qualify you, I have to make sure you're on the deed of the home. And if they say I can do it, I put everything in writing. I show you that you pay zero for the system, the installation, the maintenance. We pay the cell phone plan. We give you that for zero. The only thing you're responsible for.
So people that buy this just kind of off the shelf, they would put all these costs? The 89 they would pay, the 52 they would pay?
It would be 109 because they combine them. That's typically
109 a month?
109 a month if they had it combined. And a lot of people are like, people wouldn't spend $2,400 on the system. Like, you know,
so that's the initial setup, and then it would be 109 a month after that.
If you were to pay for an industrial cell phone plan associated with your system, yes. But we pay that fee for you. And, you know, a crazy way to look at it is, what kind of refrigerator do you have?
I know.
Okay, do you remember how much it was when you bought it? Like raw meat? Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate
thanks.
it.
Yeah, for the house.
It's okay.
So, I had a
Better
lady
than nothing.
yesterday that spent $2,500 on her refrigerator, $2,500 to protect $100 worth of food, when a system protects her whole home, the refrigerator, the food, her pets, everything. So, if we put the system in, you try it, you'll love the system. If you had any issue with it, we just want the equipment back. But I do have to qualify you. If they say I can do it, I write you a receipt for zero for all the equipment, and I show you that we use you as a model home.
If they say...
I have to qualify you. You have to make sure you're on the deed of the home, you haven't killed anybody, you're not a wanted burglar, nothing like that. And if they say I can do it, this is exactly what my paperwork looks like.
Oh, you mean if they say...
Like, I have to call the company, they're going to decide whether or not they're going to pay for the system for the home. You've lived here for over 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is what my paperwork is. I put a zero, a line down a zero, so you would pay for it. Your connection would be the $13 a week. You wouldn't pay the cell phone plan. And we put it up for advertising. So, that's it. I just have to qualify you. Are you guys both on the deed of the home?
I don't even know, probably. We bought it together.
Let me just make sure that we can do it. And then pretty much just put your receipt for zero. You guys are from California originally? No?
No.
I'm trying to do a qualification, please, for an advertising location. 39439. Yes. Is your full name Hank, your first name?
Henry.
Henry, Henry. Henry's last name is?
Boatroom Road. B-O-T.
B as in boy, O-T as in Taylor.
E-R.
E-R.
E-N.
E-N.
B-R.
B as in boy, R.
Double O.
O-O.
D as in David.
D as in David. How do you pronounce that?
Boatroom Road.
Alright. I believe so. Hank, what was your date of birth?
June 3, 1958.
June 3, 1958. Where are you from originally?
Michigan.
Where?
Grand Haven.
Oh yeah? I lived in Michigan. I live in Farmington Hills.
Oh, close to Detroit.
Yeah. Zip code is 90808.
That's right.
What street name was this again?
Faculty.
Faculty, F-A-C-U-L-T-Y. House number is
4833.
4833. Yeah, yes. What was the home phone number here? Do you have a home phone or a cell phone?
420.
Area code 420.
562 area.
Oh, 562 420
9473.
9473. Yes. What was a cross street near here?
Delamo
Delamo, D-E-L-A-M-O.
and Lakewood.
Yep, and you may have to speak with your AC lead, just based on the advertising, just for my account, just because I've done about 8 of these out here, but I have it approved to do 3 more today. Yep. Do you know a lot of the people out here? Like neighbors?
Well, my immediate neighbors I know. I don't know anybody like on the next street or anything.
Did it probably about 8 of them already, so they kind of give us a budget. But these are all the ones that I've done already. Debbie Avalos, Norbert Ibarra, Bertha Hayes, Lawrence Boland, Kenny Crosby. Do you know Steve Dunham maybe? He lives in a huge home like right over here. His wife's name is Rhonda. He runs his own business, I forget. He said he knew a lot of people because he was on like the board or something.
Oh, Liquid Village board or something?
I think so. Oh yes.
Well, is this something you want to do?
319-225-82. Alright, and I can use this as an advertising location, meaning we can pay for his home. Perfect, came back as an A. Perfect, thank you very much. Cool, so they qualified you.
So these detectors would go on every window?
The way I'd cover it is with a motion with a camera. That's a better way to cover it, because if I put a sensor on your window, what they'll do is they'll smash the window. I can put a sensor on your windows, but I think a glass break is smarter. Like, because they're not going to see a sensor. Like, you gotta look at it like, think about it if you were the bad guy. If you see a little sensor on the window, you're not going to see it and then try to lift it open. You're just going to smash the window, crawl in through the window, and they're never breaking the contact. The best way to cover the home, put a motion with a camera to cover this whole area, and then to put a glass break, you know, somewhere here or here, that will cover the interior of the home. That's
What about these spare bedrooms?
Can you show me them? Right in here and here. Okay,
These would be the only windows left.
to be honest, I would rather put a...
These windows crank open.
Yeah, if I were you, if you want to do something, the only thing that makes sense is to put an additional motion right here. Because if someone breaks into any of these areas, once they walk into here, they're in a trap zone. So the only thing that would make sense, besides everything that we've already paid for, is to put a traditional motion right here.
What is that? Well, what do you mean traditional compared to what?
A motion with a camera, or a motion, a traditional motion. So a motion that just, if it detects motion, it's going to sound the system. Meaning somebody smashes that window, smashes that window, smashes that window, comes in here. You know, they're not going to break in, chill in here, hang out in the bathroom, and then leave. They're going to come in here. They're going to trip the system probably as they go into here because the motion is here, and they're going to run out either this way or that way. And if they run,
And this system would do what? Just sound an alarm?
sounds the alarm, and then they're going to come through a speaker and they'll hear everything that's happening, and the motion will start clipping pictures.
So this one would trip your company to say, oh, there's a...
Yes, then we'd come through a speaker and we'd say that.
The only difference being it wouldn't actually take the pictures,
Correct.
but it would still cause an alarm at G
Yes.
or wherever.
Unless you would rather have 2 cameras, which is a little bit more expensive with the budget, because I've already went to a $2,400 system with you guys. I've went under budget on a few homes this week, so it's like I can go over the budget if we need to, but that's pretty much how I would set up the
Well, this is the motion sensor with the camera, right?
Yeah.
So it starts taking pictures.
Uh-huh.
This one would be a motion sensor without a camera,
That's what I would do.
but they would still link into the system the same way.
Correct. So they qualified you, they said I could do it, you came back as an A.
So the windows would...
The way to cover a window is glass break and motion. I've never done a window sensor in my life because I know that it's pointless. It's a piece of equipment I'm putting on your window that doesn't make sense.
So this one, the glass break sensor
can hear, and if they smash a
Yeah,
window.
but they wouldn't hear that room, right?
Yeah, they would. These are $200 detectors. I have $100 glass breaks and I have $200 glass breaks. You'd be getting the $200
But
ones.
it's, okay, I don't understand. If these doors are typically closed,
Have you ever heard glass breaking? Like if it's double or triple pane, I mean it's gonna sound pretty loud.
where would that sensor go? Your
I
sound
can put the
sensor.
glass break here. I can put the glass break here and it's gonna cover all this area. But what I'm saying is I'm covering all these parts of your home because I'm putting a motion camera here, which is gonna cover this whole area, meaning if somebody even smashed one of those two windows, they're gonna be picked up by the motion immediately. I'm putting an additional motion over here, so if anybody smashes these windows, triggering as well. I'm giving you like everything you need for the home, 100%. So you're getting a motion here, a motion with the camera here, and then the glass break detector, so.
The glass break is an audio sensor.
Audio sensor, exactly.
And there would be one central one? for the
One
whole house?
central location. So that system would be more like 2,600 with an additional motion, and we would still pay for it. That's exactly how it would be. So all I have to do, I need you to fill out some emergency contacts. I lay it all out at 0. The one thing we do ask is just to be flexible with our technicians because they get paid hourly, so we try to do them back to back. The whole installation will take roughly about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes.
So how many holes do they drill?
All they have to do, the techs are all GE certified first off. They would do wireless contact here. The only thing that they're really drilling is one little hole above an outlet to mount your panel. So the panel would go near or above an outlet. So just say, say they wanted to use this one right here. Yeah, so say they were going to use.
Well, there's one here.
Yeah, so say they were to put it here. Little hole, drill a wire in the wall. You can see it. And it's connected along the base to the actual outlet. That's how I would set it up if it were my home. You want to do it, you have a door that you come in and know the most, and obviously it seems like you have some.
All the other sensors are
wireless.
are remote?
Wireless.
There's no hard wiring between
Well, no, they're gonna probably I like him to do hard wiring on these sensors. It's not like he's just gonna glue them up.
This is what, the one that goes like this, right? The
Yes.
magnetic one?
So magnet recessed sensor here, wireless contact here. It breaks the contact. It's gonna trigger the system. So that's what I would do.
What about this one?
Same thing. Contact on the ins. That's what I was trying to show you on the opposite side of your door jam. Basically, they would do it. Yeah. Once that door is contacted, say somebody decides to smash this, reach in and unlock the door. They open the door. It's going to trigger. The system's going to sound. You want to put that main panel somewhere right here, so if something does happen, this isn't a humongous home. This is going to work like 10 times bigger than a speakerphone. So if I were to put my speakerphone on full blast, which is 10 decibels better than that.
So the sensor you would do what now? You would
Wireless contact here, about the size of a reset sensor, and then a contact here on the top. And when that contact breaks from the door,
wire this way.
yes,
In here?
in there, or on the side of the jam, anywhere on the door jam, wherever the technician feels like it's best. That's kind of the tech, how he's setting up all that. And then once he tests the system and everything is working, he's going to show you how you can access that account to look at the pictures.
Would this door get one too? Or how
Yeah,
would you do
no,
that?
that's my third door.
Oh, so there'd be 3 of these magnetic.
Yes,
Right?
all the doors would be covered.
And the windows would be done by the audible.
Audible
Breaking
and
glass.
motion and audible. That's the best way to
Motion
do
with
it.
camera here,
Yep.
motion without camera in the hall.
And then an additional glass break, which is honestly over my budget, but you don't have any part or piece of the system in the home already. So it's like, you don't want to get a half a system, and then, you don't want this just for peace of mind. You want to set it up as a trap zone, and if somebody really decides to break into your home, they're going to end up in jail. That's really going to work. So that's the way that I typically like to set these up, is to make sure that it's covering literally every nook and cranny of the home. So basically the system wouldn't cost you a penny. We just want you to keep the shield out in the yard. And then the only thing I need from
Who
you.
bills us for the,
That's all through GE and Protection One.
Oh.
That's who's going to be doing all the dispatch and everything. And then, how do you spell the last name again?
B-O-T,
B-O-T
E-R,
E-R
E-N,
E-N
B-R,
E-R.
O-O-D.
How do you pronounce it?
Boatron Road.
Boatron Road. So do you miss Michigan at all? No. I had to work in Flint, Michigan last year. I've never been called Wonder Bread in my life. Wonder Bread. Have you ever heard that phrase?
Well, yeah, it used to be an old bread.
Yeah, no, that's what I was called when I was working in Flint, Michigan.
Why did they call you that?
I don't know, probably because I was like white boy, you know what I mean? I was
Was that like a ghetto area or something?
Flint, yeah, Flint was really bad. It was really kind of a weird area. So motion, glass break, you and your wife will each get a remote, the yard sign, cell unit, motion with the camera, and then the fire protection for your pets. Now the little sign I put up front, it's up to you. You don't have to do it, but I have these little solar panel lights, so at nighttime, you know, they've been telling me that there's a college pretty close, and they see kids walking down the street at whatever hours. Do you want me to light up the sign or no? No? Okay. So that system, put it down 2649. Okay.
So you've got the second motion sensor in there too?
Yep. Right. Yep. I put it all on here. I added all that equipment so you have everything to protect the home. 22582. Okay, I was trying to be very thorough with everyone, so I just want to go through this with you, just so you understand. The system is going to be $0. That's the cost of the whole entire system. The system would have costed you $26.49. Your connection is cellular two-way with mobile control. It's $52.99. That's with fees. That's with taxes. Now, whenever these systems are installed, there's always the $200 fee to have the system installed because it's an actual labor from a technician, okay? The one way that I know of you guys being exempt where you don't have to pay the installation fee, we just want to get them done together. It's called a bundle installation. So if you're willing to get it done with the other neighbors, that's the only way that we pay for the free ones. I basically text a lead technician. I figure out when he'd be able to do it, and as long as you can work within his schedule.
So that would be like within how long?
Let me text the tech because there was one of your neighbors was getting this done today on Pepperwood, and more than likely if he's still at that installation, he would set up everything today because he's already out here, so we try to get them all done together. So more than likely it would be today. What is the address here?
4833.
4833 Faculty Road?
Street. Or Avenue.
Okay, so just kind of wait for what he says. And then what was the home phone here again?
562 420
420
9473.
Okay, the way the billing is all set up, you can't give me any money or anything like that. We're a security company, so we do all the billing securely. The way they do it is, let me just finish it in this one. The way they set up the billing is always, this is the neighbor that I just set up on Pepperwood, Debbie. They set up all the billing by canceling out a check. You just have to write void. That's how all the billing gets set up. So it's secure billing, you're not giving us any money. You just basically cancel out a check. That's how they set up the billing. And then I need you to.
What do you mean you set up the billing? How do they do that with a cancel check?
By voiding out a check, the way that they do it.
They automatically
Yeah.
debit?
Secure billing. That's how they always do it for security companies. They don't send a paper bill in the mail anymore.
Send an invoice or anything like that?
The reason they don't is kids would go in the mailbox and they could just get the account number, and as a security company they have to do secure billing. That's the only way to do it. You do have an option to set it up through like a debit card or a credit card, but the way that everyone does their billing is by just canceling out a check. So. Would you have preference on how to set it up?
Can they do automatic credit billing too?
Through a credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do that. Would you prefer to set it up through a credit card?
Well, I don't know if it makes much difference.
The easiest way to do it is through a canceled out check, just so you know. And then, what was your wife's name?
Lily.
How do you spell that?
Lily.
Same last name?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to.
Yeah, the tech is actually just finishing up with on Pepperwood, so he would actually be doing yours today, just so you know.
Do you want to go ahead with this?
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
Where's Grand Haven, near Grand Rapids?
Close.
Close, cool.
No, I didn't. Can you buy one, not too big one, okay?
What was your cell phone, Hank?
I was there the other day and I wasn't sure which one
562.
you're talking about.
Okay.
619
Yep.
6698.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. And then your wife's cell phone?
619, what is it? I don't know, you have to ask.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, how's that? Yeah. I just don't even know how much you're gonna use, you know.
Okay, what cell
How
phone?
much does that system of Richards across the street, that older system, what does he pay
Yeah.
for something like that?
For an analog system, he
Okay.
pays 45, but he's paying 45 for a system that can be turned off from the outside of the home. Like you can get monitoring for as cheap as $40. You can definitely get it a little bit cheaper, but it's analog based. It's running through a phone line. You don't have the cameras. You know, you get a lot more with the
So
system.
somebody snips a phone line in the system?
Yeah, he's paying $45 or $43 a month for a system that if they cut his line, none of it works. So you're familiar with ADT? Like the
I've seen the signs.
Yeah, so read that. They put that in all their clauses, that if their phone line is cut or interfered with, that their system doesn't even work. So it's like everyone that has the older systems are paying for a glorified alarm clock, and that's why we're going to have all these inquiries and we're actually selling the parts and pieces to them. That's like the reason that it made sense to me.
So in order for this to work, there's a transmitter here?
Yeah, well, there's going to be an industrial cell phone. It's a SIM card with its own cell phone plan, which it'll have its own cell phone number, and it'll dial out on a wireless basis the same way that an SMS or text message is sent out. That's how they receive the signal.
So all these signals that the system puts out, will all go through that signal?
Yes, it's all through GSM-based transmission. If you were to get technical, it's GSM-based technology.
CDMA,
Yeah.
that's old school.
Okay, so I just want to be very thorough with this, and I'm going to need you to fill out a few phone numbers for me. This is what you're getting with the system. The touchscreen panel, the 3 door contacts, the motion for that room, the glass break for this area, 2 remotes, the yard sign, the cell unit, the motion with the camera, and the fire protection. The system will be $13 a week or $52.99. The billing is set up through canceled out check. Terry, he's actually one of our better technicians. He's going to do your installation. He's finishing up with the one on Peppercorn. To install this, whatever. Yeah. To install the system, we're going to waive that fee because you're willing to work on our technician schedule. The one part I have no control over is whenever you activate a cell phone unit to an actual cell phone tower, there's an activation fee. To activate a cell phone, it's the same thing with an alarm system. Typically, it's $199 just to activate the system. It's just a one-time thing to activate it. The easiest way for me to do this is just to have you say yes to the next question you didn't know I was going to ask you. You're on fixed income or you have AAA, right?
Right.
Okay, we pay half of it for you. It would just be $99 to activate the cell phone chip. And you can.
So that's just to activate the
That's
system?
just to activate it. We'll pay half of it if you are on a fixed income or you have AAA, but it would just be the $99 to activate it. If it's a big deal, you can split it up over 3 months, but pretty much everyone just gets it out of the way in the first statement. Would you have preference?
Well, we'll do that the first time, I guess.
First time. And then I just need you to fill out, Lily, what was your cell phone number, miss?
6 what? No.
I think it's 5318.
And then one more emergency contact. Who would that be? A friend, a family member outside of the home?
619-5318.
What was it?
619-5318.
562. Very
Yep.
good.
Okay, and then one more that's outside of the home. Do you know anybody that you would use?
You want to use Lena's number or what?
Huh?
Emergency contact number?
Lena?
That's her
Oh, she's
sister.
so far away, you know.
Oh, that's right, they're not in service
You
anymore.
can put your daughter down. She has a cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, she's 3243.
3243
Yeah,
619.
that's right.
And her name?
Megan. M-E-G-H-A-N.
Okay, and I have to get on a phone call with you where they're going to verify everything. They're going to say, did Taylor have his shirt and badge on? Did he make you any promises or commitments for a lobster dinner, to mow the lawn, or anything like that? Pretty basic stuff. Did Taylor explain to you that your rate would be guaranteed for 48 months? Within that time period, the price does not change. So that's as long as we ask you to keep the shield in the yard.
Mhm.
At the end of the 4 years, you'll never start paying for the cell phone plan. Your bill will actually decrease $7. It's called a customer loyalty program. So they'll actually decrease your rate at the
So
end
the
of the 4
52
years.
becomes a 45.
Correct. They'll decrease at $7 at the end of the 4 years as a customer.
But that's
loyalty.
gonna be our only cost for the life of this program.
The only thing is the one-time activation, which is the 99. That's your only fee.
And then after that, it's either 52 or
It'll be
45.
52 for
Forever, right?
Correct. There's no other fees. You'll never start paying for the cell phone plan.
Does the equipment ever get upgraded as new technology comes out?
You can definitely do that. You're the first people on the advertising that we would do first. But this equipment that we're putting in, it's not even on the brochures. The touchscreen that you're getting was released probably about a month and a half ago. So.
But did they ever?
Hi, I'd like to do a welcome call, 319-225-82. You could also think of a safe word that if the alarm goes off, you know that word. Do you have anything in mind?
No.
Yes. How do you pronounce the last name?
Botrin.
Botrin Broad is the last name, just so you know. Henry. Botrin Broad. Yes, you are. 48 months. Cellular two-way